All right, day number 2. My goal with this YouTube channel, which I almost feel funny even saying that because I almost hope nobody watches this because it's terrible. But I've had it in my mind to make a YouTube channel for a while. Again, I do read a lot of books, and I feel like I have learned a lot that people can benefit from if they knew. That being said, it hasn't turned into much financial gain for myself to have learned what I've learned, maybe because I have a habit of starting something and then kind of dropping it later on. If I stuck with acting on everything that I've learned, then I'm sure maybe I'd be at a better position in my life at this point in time. But that being said, part of the reason for this YouTube channel is to give me something to focus on every day that will encourage me to continue learning and acting upon the things that I'm learning. Or in other words, this is video proof of whether or not I stick to a plan of action, or whether or not I act upon the things that I teach. You know, do I walk the walk, or do I just talk the talk, I guess. I will not be doing any editing. I don't have time for that. I don't expect my videos to be good quality in the beginning. I do expect that if I consistently make videos, I will get better at it. I also expect that I don't have time to prepare ahead of time. I don't know what I'm going to do in my video. Maybe something pops into my head. Maybe I hold on to that thought. We'll see what happens, but I'm not going to be making plans, writing out ideas of what I'm going to be doing, because I don't have time for all of that. So instead, I'll just turn on the camera and see what happens. And I expect that over time I will get better at coming up with content without having to plan it out, and get better at speaking off the cuff, again, without preparing some written speech or something like that. My goal is to have 5-minute videos, but I know that's not going to happen always, especially probably not this one, because I do want to talk a little bit more about the periodic table. I'm not a chemist. I have no reason to know the periodic table, I guess, more than anybody else. For most people, I think it's probably doesn't seem important. As I have started to learn, there's a few things that I've found to be interesting, but so far not really of much practical value to my life. But learning the periodic table for me is a challenge to help me see what I'm capable of doing. It's sort of a first step in my journey to, gotta crack the door open because it's getting hot in here. It's my first step in my journey to learning how to memorize better, more efficiently, more permanently, and just learning how to learn in the same way, faster, more efficiently, and to be able to retain everything that I learn. So I have a blank sheet of paper here. There's nothing underneath it. Just so you know, I'm not cheating or anything. And I'm going to draw the periodic table, and I know it's going to take a little bit more than 5 minutes. So our first element is hydrogen, which is symbol is H. I'm going to go through them according to their atomic number. Basically, there's 118 elements, and hydrogen is 1. And so as we go in order, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, according to their atomic number. So hydrogen starts off in the top left corner, and all the way at the opposite side, 18 groups, as they call them, over, or 18 columns over, you might say, is going to be helium. So I'm going to start by drawing hydrogen, and then I know that the next row, which is called a period, has only 2 elements on the left side. The third row also only has 2 elements on the left side. And then after that, we go all the way over to 12 before we step back up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we step up. Again, we step up 2 rows. And then there's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. With hydrogen at the top of the 18th column, which again is called a group. In the periodic table, the columns are groups and the rows are periods. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, helium. So this is where I'm at now. Helium all the way over on the 18th column, hydrogen on the left side, and from there on we fill in the table until we get to the actinoids and lanthanoids, which I'll show you in a minute here. So that's called row 1, 2, 3, 4, goes all the way across. 5 goes all the way across. 6 goes all the way across. 7 goes all the way across. So I'm not going to draw all the vertical lines because there's light blue vertical lines on the paper. This is the bulk of the periodic table. The lanthanoids and actinoids are also part of groups 6 and 7, but they take up too much space, let's say, so we put them below. And so we'll draw those in at the bottom. Lanthanoids, actinoids, and those are parts of groups 6 and 7, so they go at the bottom, lanthanoids and actinoids. All right, so hydrogen, helium, lithium is Li, beryllium is Be. Boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, all just start with the first letter, B, C, N, O, F. Neon is Ne. So that's the second row. Then we have, and that's the first 10 elements. So after neon we have sodium, which is Na. Not all of the, most of the elements start with their first letter, but not all of them do. And of course, Na. I don't know why it's Na. I'm not a chemist and I don't understand all this stuff. I just know it is Na. So sodium, magnesium is Mg. And I might get some of these abbreviations wrong later because I haven't got all the abbreviations completely memorized at this point. Not confidently anyway. After magnesium we have aluminum, Lu, then silicon, Si. Phosphorus is just P, I believe. Then sulfur, which is just S. Chlorine is Cl. And then argon, which is Ar. So that's the third row. Then we have potassium, which is K, and calcium is Ca, and that's number 20. So then scandium, Sc, titanium, Ti, vanadium is just V, chromium I believe is Cr. There you go, scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, Mn. Stopping to say what the abbreviations are is kind of messing with my normal pattern. But, manganese, Mn. Iron is next, Fe. Cobalt, Co. Nickel, Ni. Copper, Cu. Zinc, Zn. Gallium, Ga. Germanium, Ge. Arsenic is As. Selenium, Se. Bromine, I don't know if I'm pronouncing all these right, Br. And krypton, or krypton, like I like to call it, since it's Superman's planet, Kr, so that's the next row. And then we have rubidium, which is Rb, strontium, Sr, yttrium is Y, and zirconium is Zr. So that should be like 50, I think, or is that 40? It might be 40. Let's see, 10, 20, 30. Yeah, that's 40. Then after zirconium, we have niobium, which I believe is Nb. Molybdenum, Mo. Technetium, Tc. Ruthenium, Ru. Rhodium, Rh. After rhodium, we have palladium, Pd. Oh yeah, of course, silver, Ag, which goes directly below copper, and gold goes directly below silver, but we'll wait till we get there. And cadmium, Cd. Then we have indium, which is In, and tin, which is Sn. That should be 50. So 51 is antimony, which is Sb. Guess how I remember that. And then we have tellurium, which I believe is Te. And iodine is just I. Xenon is Xe. Then we have cesium, Cs, and barium is Ba. Wait, did I do this right? Cesium, barium, it's gotta be right, which is Ba, and then lanthanum. So lanthanum is in row 6. We're not going to write it there, we're going to write it down at the lanthanoids. So these two that I just kind of scratched out, they drop down to this row. So this spot here is really taken up by all of these, and this spot here in row 7 is taken up by all the actinoids. So our first lanthanoid is lanthanum, which is La, Louisiana, right? La. After lanthanum, we have cerium, Ce, praseodymium, Pr, neodymium, Nd, neodymium. And then we have promethium, Pm, samarium, Sm, europium, Eu, gadolinium, Gd, terbium, I think is Tb, if that's right. The way I'll try to remember it is tuberculosis, terbium, Tb. After T, B, after terbium, we have dysprosium, which I believe is Dy. I feel confident about these here. Dysprosium, holmium, Ho, erbium, I think it's just Er. Then we have thulium, which I think I got this wrong last time. I think it's Tm, thulium. It's like the first and last letter. Then we have Ytterbium, which I got wrong last time too. It's not YT. I think it's YB. Ytterbium. YB, let's say. Then after that we have Lutetium, which I'm confident is LU. That's the end of the lanthanoid. So now we filled in our lanthanoid chart or whatever, and we jump back up here to the other side of the lanthanoid. So this was 57, and we did 57 through 71, I think. So now 72 is the next one here, which is going to be hafnium, HF. After hafnium, we have, you notice that I sometimes struggle to remember, but I always get it, and that's because of the way that I learned to remember, which eventually, I'm not going to have time to do it in today's video, but I'm going to tell you how I learned the periodic table, and how come, like, I don't have to, you know, I can be interrupted, I can make this video, and even though it's not the way I normally write it down, I'm not usually telling everybody what the abbreviations are, and it kind of trips me up, I can always get back on track and finish, and my accuracy is not 100%, but the reason for that is I haven't really, the only thing I'm messed up on right now is what some of the abbreviations are, but I know all the names in order, even if I don't pronounce some of them correctly, and I never get it wrong. Well, let's see, I've gotten it wrong a couple times, but my accuracy is extremely high, and at this point I don't think I'll get them wrong again. You know, every once in a while I'll skip one, but I don't think that's going to happen again because of the way that I've learned, which I will teach you. I'll try to talk about it in the next video. Anyway, after hafnium we have tantalum, which I believe is TA. I got that one wrong last time too. And then tungsten is W. I don't know why. Yeah. After that we have rhenium, which I'm going to say is RE. And then osmium is OS. Iridium is IR. And then we have platinum, which I believe is going to be PT. Gold is AU. Somehow it's easy to remember, like copper, silver, and gold. I guess because they're such precious metals that stick out in our minds. And mercury is HG. I kept getting that one wrong. I knew it wasn't M or anything, but I couldn't remember. Now I'm pretty confident it's HG, mercury. After mercury, we have thallium, which I believe is TL. I didn't do TL somewhere else, did I? I don't think so. Thallium, TL. Lead is PB, peanut butter. Bismuth, BI. Polonium, PO. Astatin, don't know if I'm saying that right. I believe it's AT. It's not AS because that's arsenic. Then we have radon, which is RN. You might think it's RA, but that comes just a little bit later. Radon is RN, francium is FR, and radium is RA. Then we are at the point where we're going to have to jump down to our actinoids. Actinium is AC, air conditioning. Oh, I just wrote a C there. No, AC. Actinium. After that we have thorium, like Thor, right? The god of thunder in Norse mythology. Thorium. Protactinium is PA, kind of like Pennsylvania. Protactinium. After protactinium we have, my foot's falling asleep. Uranium, just a U. Neptunium, which I had never heard of before. Makes sense, I guess. NP. And plutonium is PU. So you got all the planets, those three anyway, right next to each other. Uranium, Neptunium, plutonium. After that we have americium, AM. Curium, CM, I believe. After that we have pen's running out. Berkelium, BK. Californium, CF. Einsteinium, ES. fermium, Fm. Mendelevium, I believe, is Md, which is named after Dmitry Mendeleev, who is basically the father of the modern periodic table. He didn't have it all filled in, but he figured out how it should be organized in such a way that he was able to predict some elements that we hadn't found yet. And when we found them, they went where he thought they would go in the periodic table because of the way that it was organized. So Mendelevium. After that, we have Nobelium, like the Nobel Prize. I always think, oh, Mendel should have won a Nobel Prize. I don't believe he did, but then after that we have Lawrencium, which is Lr, and Rutherfordium. That's the end of the actinoids, by the way. And then Rutherfordium comes back up here, which is Rf. So the way I think of that is Mendel should have won the Nobel Prize, and then this is just fantasy here, but instead they gave it to Lawrence Rutherford. So that's how I remember it. After Mendel comes Nobel, but after that comes Lawrencium, after that comes Rutherfordium. Then we have Seaborgium, Sg. Oh no, we don't. No, Dubnium, Db. And the reason I remember that is I think Lawrence Rutherford comes from Dublin, and I just changed that to Dubnium. So after Dubnium, Db, comes Seaborgium, Sg, Borium, Bh, Hassium, Hs, Meitnerium, Mt. I think of Mountnerium. After Meitnerium comes Darmstadtium, right? See, making this video makes me nervous that I'm not getting it right because I have the video in my mind instead of this. I'm still confident that I'm getting it right. Meitnerium, Darmstadtium, then Roentgenium, Rg. We're already coming to work. Roentgenium. Too many distractions. Copernicium, Cn. Nihonium, Nh. Last time I put Ni, but that's for nickel. Nh, nihonium. Flervium, I believe, is Fl. Moscovium is Mc. Livermorium is Lv. Tennessine is Ts. And oganesson is Og. And that's the periodic table. I'm not going to take all the time to write it in, but you have hydrogen kind of stands by itself. Everything on the 18th column over here are noble gases. And lithium down is alkaline metals, and then column 2 is alkali earth metals. 3 through 12 are transition metals. I think it's like boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium, and polonium, or something like that, are the metalloids. And then over here you have non-metals, and of course the lanthanoids and actinoids. Again, these are periods. The rows, the groups, the columns are called groups, and that's really all I know for the most part. Well, I also know that the periods tell you how many shells surround the center of the atom, and then I believe that the atomic number is how many protons are at the center of the atom. And I know a little bit more than that, but not that much. And maybe I got some of these abbreviations wrong, but I think I got them all right this time, and I don't have time to go through it because this video is already 25 minutes and you definitely didn't sit around to watch it. So I'll see you next time.